Yeah, welcome back. In the last topic, we are discussing regarding the shear force and the bending moment, how it reflects. That's what we have discussed in the previous topic. So now we discuss. So now we want to discuss about the shear force diagram and the bending moment diagram. So initially, we have discussed about the what do you mean by the shear force. Are we going to consider the shear force, and are we going to consider the bending moment forces? Now we are going to consider on based on based on the loads, are we going to draw the shear force and the bending moment diagrams. So the shear force is one which shows the variation of shear force from section to section along the length of the beam. So thus the ordinate of the diagram of any force of the section. See, the shear force diagram reflects or gives the variation of shear force from one section to the other section, depends upon the which type of load is acting and what is the load is acting at that particular section. So along with the length of that particular beam, so it can able to reflect from one section to other section, which depends upon the type of load which is acting, and the along with the forces from one section to another section along with the beam. This is what we called, or we will consider that as a shear force diagram. When coming to the bending moment diagram, is nothing but one which shows the variation of bending moment from one section to another section along with the beam. The ordinate of the diagram gives a section from the bending moment at this section. See, here also we are going to consider the bending moment along with the length of the particular beam. See, here we are not going to consider any forces. So now the difference between the shear force and the bending moment, when we consider from the shear force diagram, we are considering the shear force along with the section of that particular beam along with the length. So in this bending moment, we are going to consider only the bending moment of the section, which is section is given along with the length. That is, we are going to consider along with the length of the beam. So the ordinate of this diagram at any section gives the bending moment at this particular section. This is what are we going to consider the or are we going to analyze for the bending moment diagram. So next one is about the point of contraflexure. The point of contraflexure is nothing but when there is an overhanging portion, the beam is subjected to a combination of and an hogging moment. That point of the bending moment diagram is the nature of that bending moment changes from hogging to sagging, or from sagging to hogging. This is known as a point of contraflexure. So in the simple words, what we can able to say for the point of contraflexure is nothing but when the sign changes from positive to negative, or from negative to positive, at that particular point where it changes from sign from positive to negative, or either from negative to positive, that point we're going to consider as a point of contraflexure. So here this is also one of the a type where we can able to consider, but it does not reflect in all the beams. So depends upon the type of the beam where the point of contraflexure will be generated. The point of contraflexure is nothing but whenever a sign changes from positive to negative or from negative to positive, at that particular point we're going to consider that as a point of contraflexure. So next we're going to discuss about the relationship between the load, shear, and then moment. See, these are all very important in aspects of shear force and then a bending moment diagram. See, when we where we can able to see the one diagram where we're going to analyze, or we're going to consider only one particular section of this entire beam, or the entire beam we're going to consider, or we're going to only one section, where only one section we're going to analyze for that section what would be the how the relationship between the load, shear, and then the bending moment. See, the vertical shear at C, where you can able to see this is a vertical forces where which is acting on the beam. So and the W is nothing but a load, and the A and the C at the point of beam where you can able to see these are some of the vertical forces and horizontal forces which is acting along the moment, where you can able to see this moment M, and this V is nothing but a vertical forces. W is the load with the Newton per mm, that is the load per unit area, where we are going to just analyze the one particular entire beam. We are going to cut one particular section and we are going to analyze that section is nothing but the distance of length of x. Just we are going to consider this. Now the vertical shear at C figures in the previous section taken as, now we are going to consider that particular vertical section as a notations. R1 will be equal to R2, that is WL by 2. W is nothing but a load into the length with the given distance divided by 2. Now sum of horizontal forces with respect to length will be equal to W into X. W is nothing but a load into the X is nothing but a distance where. Here the vertical forces at point C is nothing but WL. This W into the total length divided by 2 minus this small w into x. X is nothing but what the section length what we have been considered. Now we are going to consider the moments of at section C will be equal to summation of moments at section C will be equal to sum of moments, where you can able to see sum of moments at section C will be equal to load into length divided by 2 into the distance of that particular section minus w into that is load into x by 2. We are going to cut this section at one point and we're going to measure this. Now what happens when we differentiate with the moment at m? So now moments at c will be equal to w into lx divided by 2 minus, when I differentiate this, and we're going to get as an equation as wx square by 2. That is what the moments at section at point c, because this end is fixed. Now it is rotating at the moment at this point only. Now when you differentiate with the along with the m, that is dm by dx will be equal to this w by l into dx by dx minus w by 2 into, I'm going to differentiate with respect to x. So what happens when I'm going to differentiate with respect to x? I'm going to consider as dm by dx will be equal to wl by 2 minus w into x. When we differentiate that, I'm going to consider as a shear. Now what happens? Does the rate of change of bending moment? What happens when the rate of change of bending moment with respect to x is equal to the shearing force? See, when we are going to consider only one section, when the bending moment takes place at point C, will be x is equal to the shearing force. What the shearing force is x, or the slope of the moment, what the slope of the moment of a diagram at a given point, that point we are going to consider as a shear. So next what happens? Therefore, the rate of change of bending moment with respect to x, only we are considering x. X is nothing but a distance of that particular section which we have been considered is will be equal to the shearing force, or the slope of the moment diagram at the given point is to the shear at the point what we are going to consider. Now when we differentiate, when we consider this, that is dm by dx will be equal to sum of the vertical forces. We are going to consider sum of the vertical forces. Now what happens when again when we differentiate, that is the dv is nothing but with respect to the vertical forces. What when I am going to differentiate that, w will be, we are going to consider it as a load. When we differentiate dv by dx will be load. What I am going to get when we differentiate dv by dx, that value will be become to that particular load which is acting on this particular beam. Now what happens finally? The rate of change of shearing force with respect to x is equal to the sum of the load which is acting at the slope. That slope diagram what we are going to consider, that is a shear diagram at a given points equals to the load at the point. So this is how all are been interrelated. This is a relationship between the load, shear and the moment which has been interrelated between the to identify the sum of the moments, or it might be some of the vertical forces along with the shear force, bending moment, and the loads which is acting. So this is how we are going to identify. And one more thing what we have considered is, we have not considered the entire beam for the to identify the relationship. So we have considered one of the examples, and we have taken as one section or one part of the beam that we have cutted, or and we have considered along with the moments of vertical forces along with the loads and other forces which is acting. So this is how we are going to identify the relationship between the load, shear and a bending moment with respect to the given condition.